大家好，歡迎嚟到家和。家和係加拿大嘅註冊慈善組織，係安省唯一一個為華人而設嘅家庭服務中心。
Hello, today we should talk about some topics relating to young people because there's very common, I would say, things that they're trying nowadays. I would say on the topic of vaping, I would say very common among the young people nowadays.
Oh, yes. Vaping is quickly becoming a lot more popular among Canadians. According to a government survey, 15% of Canadians have tried a vaping product or e-cigarette. Vaping is more common among younger Canadians aged 15 to 24 years old. So, Amy, what's vaping?
So vaping is when you puff, like breathe in and breathe out, a battery-operated device, often called an e-cigarette. As you might know some of those devices as mods, vape pens, e-hookahs, or tank systems, the e-cigarette contains a e-juice or a vaping liquid. When it's heated, then it creates a vapor. And that vapor can be inhaled through the mouth directly into the lungs. And the vaping liquid, it's either in a bottle or a dropper, and it's used to fill the e-cigarette, or the tank or the pods that are inserted into the device.
So, what's in the vapor?
So people who are vaping aren't actually breathing. They're breathing in that water vapor. They're breathing in a combination of substances and chemicals that cause harm. Most e-cigarettes have nicotine, and nicotine is very addictive, and also found in tobacco. And cannabis can also be vaped. Many vaping liquids come in different flavors. It's kind of to attract the young people. So, for example, there could be mint, fruity flavors, or chocolate.
Wow.
And that really attracts the young people because it's like an e-cigarette, and then it comes with these different flavors, so they want to try it. Maybe they try one, doesn't seem so bad, they want to try a different flavor. So that really appealing to the young people.
Very attractive, right? So what do vaping devices look like?
So vaping devices can come in all shapes and forms. For example, it could be as small as a pen. It could look like a USB drive, or it could be even larger. A typical vaping device includes a battery, a heating element, or a tank or a pod to pre-fill the containers with a vaping liquid.
And many people assume vaping or e-cigarettes are safer than traditional cigarettes and can provide a route of smoking for many people. Is that true?
No, this isn't actually true. Vaping is not harmless. It's actually very addictive, and there's also those chemicals that you breathe in. So vaping products might have nicotine, which is, like mentioned before, very addictive. And sometimes it might even claim it doesn't have it, but it does have nicotine in the substances. And also those particles that you're breathing in when you're heating the elements in the e-cigarette, they're very harmful for the body. And when they're inhaled directly into the lungs, that has very implicating health factors. And there could be also other things like heavy metals, nickel, tin, lead, so not very healthy at all. So definitely not harmless. Sometimes those health hazards, vaping, are very similar to cigarettes. And you may actually suffer aging, impotence, cancer, or cardiac disease, and etc.
And would you tell me more about why is vaping not recommended?
We don't recommend vaping because there's other alternatives that are maybe like healthier. For example, there's natural fragrances that aren't addictive or harmful. Very common among young people. They might see their peers doing it, so they might want to try. And then there's like this form of peer pressure. Maybe a few of them are trying, and if you don't try, then you are left out, you're not cool. There could be misunderstandings that vaping might lead to like a better body shape, being cool. So there's also healthier alternatives, like for example, relating to fashion or your body, like such as eating healthy and healthy physical exercise, which is more, you'll see better results versus something such as vaping that has harmful chemicals and very addictive, so very bad for the body. And basically, there's also nicotine in it. So nicotine is highly addictive, and basically if you are using cigarettes, avoiding inhaling those chemicals. But when you're vaping, you're inhaling those chemicals as well as absorbing that nicotine. So very addictive and very harmful, and even more addictive than heroin.
And what are the signs of addiction?
For addiction, there's a few signs that you can look out for, such as withdrawal symptoms, because you've developed a dependency. So what happens is you might feel discomfort, especially when you stop vaping. Other common symptoms are craving, restlessness, impaired concentration, you're agitated, you feel more tired, fatigued. Those kind of things are symptoms of withdrawal. And you might feel you need to smoke more or vape more to actually feel better.
And what are the risks of vaping?
So there's many risks to vaping. In addition to the harmful like physical impacts to your health, there's also psychological dependency. So when that happens, you may rely on the nicotine to vent your emotions. When you're stressed, you're trying to de-stress. There's also healthier alternatives to deal with stressful situations. So instead of vaping, which has harmful chemicals, bad impacts to your health, there's other options to fulfill those different needs you might have as an individual.
And have you ever noticed how smokers respond?
So generally, smokers will tell children or young people not to smoke. And very often, they understand the risk to themselves, but they might have developed like a dependency or addictiveness to that smoking. So they're trying to share their advice to children or young people. However, it's not very convincing because they themselves are smokers. So basically, they understand that the negative risk to their health, and they've probably been doing it for a number of years. So they're trying to be telling the young people not to learn from them. However, it's not very convincing since they themselves are a smoker, recommending kids not to smoke, basically.
So basically, they understand how harmful it is for vaping or smoking. So actually, what are they truly looking for?
So when you're vaping or smoking, you might be looking for a peace of mind, relaxing feeling. You might want to do what your peers are doing, so other people are doing it in the company of yourself, so you kind of join in. But you can get these fulfilling needs from other activities. You don't have to choose vaping or smoking, which has a very negative, harmful impacts, especially if you become addicted.
And how can they stop smoking?
So there's a few resources available to stop smoking. For example, as children or young people, you can go to your parents or your guardians, anyone you trust, like maybe your teacher or a coach. And if you aren't feeling comfortable to go to someone you trust within your people you know, you can also seek the Kids Helpline. So anything you share with the Kids Helpline will be confidential. The resources are available on the slide. And then also there's a Quit Coach that you can reach out to on Telehealth Ontario. You can also call them for that help. And one additional resource is the Canadian Cancer Society Smokers Helpline. So they can visit the website or texting I Quit to 123456. And as well as if you are looking for additional information or resources, you can also contact Community Family Services of Ontario.